First and foremost, as a business owner, I want to bring to light the commercial general liability coverage. Again, regardless of the industry or organization, a commercial general liability, you may be referred to as CGL, is just the business owner's risk plan or business owner's risk protection to help you, to help your livelihood, the business name, and of course the owner or owners involved. Now, beyond that application, I would encourage you, our franchise owners, our franchisees, you will most always have a written agreement or a written contract with the franchise agreement. What I would encourage you to do is share that with your risk advisor. Let us take a look at it. We'll digest it. We'll do a deep dive into it, and we'll extract and go over the things that are needed. Typically what you'll see, the major coverages, of course, is the commercial property, the building or the buildings you operate in. And it's very important to have this discussion to look at the insurance to value, the replacement cost estimator, and so forth. So we'll certainly start there on the coverage limit for the commercial property. Beyond that, as we walk through the property, literally or figuratively, but as we walk through the property, we'll touch on the business personal property. Anything that you can think of or consider as loose contents in your property, the tables at the breakfast area, the lobby, the lounge, the chairs and tables out by the pool if you were to have one, certainly the furniture inside the guest rooms, the back office equipment, inventory, supplies, furniture, laptops, anything of that regard that we'll categorize as business personal property. You'll certainly want to comply with the state and/or federal regulations of our workers' comp requirements or workers' compensation as you have employees. And of course, you may want to include yourself. Workers' compensation is a requirement that you'll find throughout most states in the United States. That certainly adds protection to your employees as they're performing work on your property or in service to the organization. Business interruption is also another very important but maybe less known coverage. In the event you have some type of loss, some type of damage, some type of incident or accident at your property, and you do have to shut the doors in full or at least partial, maybe you have to section off part of the hotel for damages and repairs, that business interruption or that business loss, we can have that discussion with the owner and the advisor. How do I make myself whole? How do I recover those lost funds if I shut down in season and maybe your season is in the fall, maybe you're in the Northeast and your season is with the changing of colors in the fall, and you lose part of your peak season to damage, loss, or a claim being filed. Once we have that conversation, we continue the conversation into more layered coverages, especially as you're working with a franchise agreement. We got to peel it back. And even if you're not, we got to peel that coverage back or that conversation back to discover the risk that you're having out there. Do you do a lot of transactions digitally? Do you do a lot of transactions with credit cards, over the computer use, over software, a third-party booking system, or so forth? We got to have that conversation about cybersecurity. Most franchise agreements, in my experience, there will be a piece in there that the franchisee, the property owner, does have to show cyber liability insurance. Employment practices liability insurance is yet another oftentimes requirement in that franchisee agreement. And then you also find the commercial umbrella, which just adds layers to that general liability. My experience again shows that there will be a commercial liability, or commercial umbrella liability coverage request made into that agreement with your franchisees and your property owners. We walk through those processes. We walk the property, if at all possible, with our owners, with our clients, and we just talk about the different risks, different aspects, and the exposures that are in place or could be in place through normal considered operations.